spiel. Fucking like, subscribe, tell a friend. Give us money on Patreon if you're so inclined. Malcolm, what's up, baby?
Hey, oh, that's really good.
What's good, boss?
Good, baby. If you could just flip your phone, like portrait,
Horizontal?
yeah, like landscape or whatever you want. Yeah.
That's actually better for me. Hold on, let me unlock my phone.
Okay.
Sure. Boom.
That's good.
Yeah, dude. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Doing
Great.
well.
Let's go. Finally in this.
Seriously. Yeah, seriously. What do you got going on? Like, what have you been working on currently? I know you just put out source code, but what are you doing now?
As of right now, I'm kind of back on the music tip. I'm trying to finish up my first album and like a little cassette tape on the side, like some techno tracks. So I'm kind of gearing that up to be released in like the summer or late spring, and then kind of like once that's done, the skate situation will probably be ready to go because it's still snowing out here, unfortunately.
Cool. Are those two different projects, like the full album?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Yet?
So pretty much I run a label called 400 Meter, and then the skate company is Source Code.
Can you repeat the name of the label?
400 Meter, like the
400
track and
meter.
field race.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And are you?
Yeah. So I'm
Are
pretty
you doing?
much just back and forth between those projects like all the time.
Cool.
So the label's 400 meter, and you're doing the album as Time Cop.
Yeah. As Time Cop on my label, we're gonna have physicals and little release and videos and stuff. Yeah. Just
Dude, doing all.
trying to get both of them going, truthfully, because they're very cohesive. Like I have plans to pretty much just like plug all my friends' music through the label on source code with like all my skate friends, and just like kind of intertwine the networks, and like it works for having original music and like kind of just bringing new projects and getting some like fresh blood in the mix, I guess. I don't know.
Having all of it under your own umbrella too is like super important as far as the music world goes, and having your ability to move your own music around. You did all the music for source code yourself, right? Am I mistaken?
No, I only did the last two tracks that were on my latest mixtape, but then I like made the mix though. I like mixed the songs together and then I added it to the mix. So it was like it's slightly a little bit of like AV work in there, a little technical, but it's fun. I kind of like realized I was like, damn, the more I like got proficient at music, the better at editing I got, because I'm like the music program's like pretty much a very similar interface. So it's just nice to like kind of juggle back and forth because it's just like nice growth. I'm like, damn, I'm getting better and better and better at each craft.
What are you using to create music? Like what programs? Because we talked to Michael Briggs and he's using Final Cut to make all of his music.
I commend him, truthfully.
I
use
Ableton. He's at least mixing it in Final Cut, which is wild as hell.
Honestly, I hate working with audio and video programs because they like. I wish they put like Ableton in the audio part. I swear, and be like, you just a little bit more control. You know what I mean? Like it's a different. I feel like audio moves different than video, if that makes sense. So it's like I have a feeling like the programs in the future are going to be insane. I can already imagine it. So I kind of just had an idea from that sentence. So.
Cool.
So you're using Ableton as like your primary program to create?
Yeah, pretty much. I used to have some like hardware, like little drum machines and samplers and stuff, but all that stuff kind of like fluctuate and comes and goes. I kind of love just clicking on the computer low key. Like Ableton is just a blank canvas with like so many options, truthfully. Like the computer is just a machine in itself, in my opinion. So
yeah, I played around with Ableton and I have no knowledge and it was still fun. So
yeah, I was gonna say like it's got a quick learning curve. Really, like I have a lot of fun on GarageBand on my phone. Like they made it so like user friendly. Like you can like play the drums, the keyboard and stuff. And like that's kind of how I like got sparked into just like diving into these programs, I guess.
So are you kind of constantly like outputting like little ideas and things, like even with your phone, like on the go, and like that is like a huge part of your like thought process,
I would say so. I kind of just like, if I have an idea, like sometimes I'll just let it sit, but like some ideas I'm like, let me put that in the notes because I just will forget it easily. But my notes are light lit, honestly. But now I'm kind of in just a better headspace and like a little bit more in my my train. So I'm just like going through those notes and I was like, okay, like I got some concepts on the way. It's interesting. It makes me glad that I took those notes for sure. I'm like, because especially when you're just feeling a little bit dry and you're like, damn, like what is the next move, or like, I don't know, a little inspiration or anything. Dig in there.
The notes I'd say are like, that is a really good idea. I don't take as much or as many notes as I probably should, because sometimes when you're sitting in front of the computer, you're like, I thought I had a bunch of shit when I was walking around an hour ago, but now I feel like I have
for
nothing.
real, yeah. No, truthfully, especially when it comes to like music, but honestly, even with video lately, I've been like on videos ass, just reading more tutorials, like getting like deeper and deeper into like just like the mechanics of it, I guess, of that. I don't know if that's the right word, but just like I'm really thinking about each second of the video and like not just like clip by clip by clip, like I'm trying to like really resonate like a couple more things, because I just feel like now that I have more like audio knowledge, I'm like, I didn't realize how important audio was to a skate video. Like I'm listening to like recent edits in my AirPods and I'm like, I want to hear the skate audio too. Like that sounds so good. I feel like people, like I always had just like a dream. I was like, I should just play a show and like ramp slow-mo clip. Just like see if anyone in the crowd realizes, but it'll probably get pretty quiet. Look, dude. Like, what was that sound?
Oh, so you'd like ramp slow-mo like the track?
No, just like a skate clip and just put it in one of my like DJ mixes or something.
Yeah, it's like a MIDI key.
Just like, hey, my skaters.
Yo, that's so sick. Please just do it once. Just
honestly, yeah, I have to now. Now that we mentioned
people will get it. Like
funny as all.
Like that's.
I'm sure that most people that are in the scene that you're in have some skate knowledge, whether it be.
I know what a ramp slow mo is.
For sure.
I feel like that. I wonder if that's been used in like movies, like normal movies. I don't know. I've yet to see.
Like a ramp slow mo.
Yeah. Or just like that.
It's there, but it's like they use it differently than we do.
No, like the Matrix, they use it, but they turn that like toning down. They're like, that's too like I don't know, playful, I guess.
The actual ramp sound.
Yeah. I can think of like Neo dodging bullets. They'll be like, but I think they like mess with the audio or some shit.
Yeah, it's way more on the low end, and like it's not like what actually happens when you do that to audio. It becomes super high.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess also too, I think about what you're like messing with. Like if you're ramp slow-mo in a skate clip, it has that skate grind. But like if it was like a scene in a movie, like someone shooting a gun, I guess the sound would be like way different, probably.
Yeah, I wonder what an actual gun ramp. I guess is it a low end? You think? Like when you just shoot a gun?
Yeah, what you said was completely right. I was like, hey, you know.
Yeah, I know like a little bit about audio, but it's funny. Like when you're talking about video, you looked at the audio end and went deeper on that side, and I know people that were doing that, so I decided to focus more on like the animation end and like After Effects stuff. Like that's where that's
kind of what I really want to do. I just got a PC that can like handle that, so I'm like trying to just learn basic animation. Truthfully,
it's so funny how many different aspects there are to like the video making process and how much time it takes. Like what you're doing on the audio end take so much time. It's hard to spend that much time on then animation and what you said you were studying, just video in general. It's so much.
And it does, like, it's almost like a 5-step process if you really want to go that deep. But honestly, I've just been sitting this whole pandemic really watching movies. Like, I really watched a lot of movies, and I've come to realize I'm very analytical, and I was like, what makes a good movie? Like, so many times I've been let down. I was like, all right, there was like no plot, like, or like the audio sounded weird, or like the shots were dry or something. I was just like, damn, I am like almost creating a little bit of like a formula to like what I think would be like a hit or something like that. And it's kind of true. Like, think of like a classic skate video. All the times you've gone out with your homies and mimicked it, you're like, just do a crazy trick on the handrail. Like, that's what I saw on fucking 4x4. Like, let's keep the tradition alive.
So, what kind of movies have you been into? Is there anything that's what would you say, like, top 3 podium? Like, these were really good.
Shit. Honestly, I would say this movie called Sputnik. It's on Hulu. It's like about a Russian astronaut. He gets, I guess, kind of like taken over in space, and he comes back with an alien inside of him. It's lit though. Like, they did the movie very well. It sounds corny, but you just gotta watch it.
No, that sounds like sci-fi.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was sleeping on sci-fi for a minute. I was like kind of watching a lot of horror stuff, even though I kind of hate horror, but it's good to watch it with like friends and stuff. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it was fun in a group, but like the sci-fi stuff I can get into just like chilling.
Yeah, truthfully, that's like, it just kind of makes you think too, especially when you see a good sci-fi movie. I'm like, I used to be like, or not even like a flat earther, but I'm just like, damn, there's like a lot of fun to be had if you like want to let yourself like your guard down in that like kind of environment. Because a lot of people are really like, I don't want to watch sci-fi stuff, it's like corny. Or like lately, a lot of people in Chicago at least have been like watching anime, and it's just interesting to hear like everyone's like almost embarrassed, or it's like, yeah, I like watch anime now. I'm like, why is it like so? Anime. Yeah, I was like, why is everyone so like this is their hidden little obsession or something? But I guess it's just like kind of not popular culture or something. I don't know. You know how people are.
There's a fighter in the UFC, and he's a light heavyweight, or not light heavyweight. I forget what division he's in, world champion, but he's like super open about like mimicking anime. Israel Adesanya, and he like gets up there and he does poses like from anime. He's like, that's what I do. He's like, people call me a nerd, I don't give a shit. I just think it's so sick that there are people out there like that. Like, I think, yeah, do what you love, man.
Yeah, and honestly, it's interesting to see like just people resonate to something like that. I'm like, imagine there's just so many things that can like get a person going and get them hyped, especially if it's like a drawing. I'm like, all right, like, imagine what else is out there, because that's definitely like, I used to look at like a lot of like karate stuff as a kid, and like I guess I kind of like drifted into anime after that. But I was just like, this is crazy how they just blank piece of paper and then just kicking ass.
I had a very similar transition. Like, I grew up doing karate, and like Asian culture was part of that, and then anime came from that as well, with like Toonami and stuff. So
yeah, dude, that shit went hard. That was like a great time in my childhood.
Yeah, getting home from school and Toonami being on.
Yeah, you were lucky too. You were lucky. For some reason, I like would miss it sometimes. I'm like, damn, how did I miss Toonami? Like,
dude, it's weird how things like when we were all young at the same time. Now, like, I'm more or less an adult grown man, and I see real life Super Saiyan shit. Like, if I watch Montre at a contest, it's like, yo, that guy just went full on Super Saiyan in like a second. Like, that's real life.
Honestly, I've kind of been feeling that with like the music lately too. Like, for example, I threw a rave in the fall at this school, but it's like a full skate school. So it was just like a rave / like skate off. And I swear to God, I've never seen people having so much fun. It was like a Tony Hawk level or something. I was like, damn, I didn't know. Like, for a long time, I really wanted to keep both worlds separate. I was like, oh, like, I don't want them to even know. But I'm like, I was just baffled, truthfully, myself. And I kind of felt like that Super Saiyan energy. Like, people were crying and shit. I was like, God, like, it was a very cool event. And that just made me think, like, what this could be like on a mass scale, or just like a more like coordinated, like Bashi Popov or something like that, but like some good, like, just overall planning. You know what I'm saying?
Like a full event.
You know how it is after the comp's done, boy. It's like, what are we doing?
If you had that game plan, like, we're hosting the event, we know what's going on, that would be.
It's just like, it's so basic. I'm like, it just makes sense. And people are like we had it at a school too that was like in a residential area. I'm like, just normal people were there, like nighttime dancing and stuff, just because they're like, oh, this is fun. I've been inside all year. Like, thanks for like just going outside and being normal.
Yeah, and like
I can't believe no one's done this yet. Helps. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Leading up to the event, it sounds like it was like kind of it was pretty popping, obviously. Were you nervous at all?
Popping. Well, we did one the week before on some like straight pirate radio, and that one went well, but it was just really cold. So I was like, and the cops didn't come. So we were like, if the cops didn't come that time, hopefully they don't come this time. This will be the last time. And it was chill. It was chill. We ended it at like 7 p.m. on So Respectful. So like, I feel like that's a reasonable time to stop being outside, and start at like 11 a.m. or something like that. So it's just like kind of start soft.
Nice day party.
Yeah.
Like block party style almost.
Exactly, yeah. Because if you just go in there, boom, 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 all day, that's like actually probably when the cops come. Because they're like, people are like just getting annoyed. Yeah, exactly.
Into it.
That's sick how you're doing it. You actually build like a sustainable community around what you're doing.
It was like my friend that like helps me run the label and I'm in a group with has just been begging me to do a show outside. It's like, please, like, when is the outside show? And I was like, all right, we'll do a fucking show. Like, let's do it. Just like kind of getting peer pressure into it. I was like, where are we gonna go outside and not like have a bunch of cops and like raving and like, you know, like it's just kind of like not the best outside presence. But I was like, let's go to the school where we can skate all day. I'm like, if we can skate there, I feel like we can turn some music on. I'm like, sure enough, it was just chill. It was basic. But it made me actually realize on some like event coordinators, I was just like, that was badass. And imagine if there was an actual skate comp. Like, I was like, actual skate comp. Like, people went there and there was like money on the line. The vibes would be so on point. It would be crazy.
It's fun to think about. Like, to hear you talk about hosting stuff like that is exciting. Like, I want to go to that event.
To be honest, like, I'm kind of just feel like I'm in the damn position. I'm like, all I got to do is just like create a flyer. Like, all right, and just get a little pot or something. But really, I feel like all of our favorite events, like growing up, were folks like us. They'll just kind of realize I probably can gather like a nice amount of people, and not many people have that resource at hand. Like, a lot of people are like, I used to be a damn introvert, honestly. So I'm just glad I like know a lot of people and people will show up. So
I mean,
you would consider yourself an introvert.
You saw what?
You would consider yourself an introvert?
I mean, honestly, I would say that's changed as of lately, because I just kind of had to grow up. So it's like, yeah, that worked as like a teenager, but now I'm like, I kind of have to like turn that into something. And honestly, like, at least when it comes to skating, I always be like, I'll just film and like never skate. Like, now I'm like skating every single time I go out. I'm like doing crazy tricks, and everyone's like, damn, you can skate. I was like, I guess so. I'm like, well, I do. Like, I'm glad to be here too, because really I've like would film so many talented people and just be motivated. Like, you know what it's like to film Bellino? And I'm like, dude, if I could get into that fucking talent. Let's go. And honestly, I did. The man like be like, yeah, just like jump higher, and like boom, I would land it. And like it's just cool to have like that kind of mentorship and then see I actually like have had the talent for a long time. And not to let it go to waste because I'm not gonna be young forever. Okay.
How old are you now?
I'm 27 now.
Okay.
Nice.
Same here. Yeah.
I got plenty of time, but I'm like, I'm talking to
93?
LeBar. I'm 94.
Oh, okay. So you're an early 94.
Yeah, January 23rd.
Okay.
Speaking of birthdays and being born, we're recording this on John Vasugi's birthday, so just gonna shut it down. Happy birthday, John!
Happy birthday, boss! You're the boy.
Hey, what's up, Papa Sugi?
He was hyped when I told him we were talking to you. He was like, "Oh, that's a good idea."
I know. I told Darce, I told LeBar, and everyone. I was like, "This is awesome." I like needed this too because I was like, kind of, or we just had to reschedule a couple times, but. Really, it's just the weather's been so bad. I was like, I need to get back on my skate talk, and my just like that activity means a lot to me. And low key, now I'm like kind of more on my designer tip too, because I live alone and have a lot of space. So I'm like about to start designing all the source code merch this week, and it just kind of made me realize I was like, maybe I need to like dive into that also because I've been having like a artistic bug I need to scratch. Okay. And everyone can tell by my damn skate videos.
I was going to ask you about that. Like, what was the inspiration for the color of source code?
Honestly, I had, I would say I just had the GO2, and I was like, all right, got to do something different, bro. Like, coming out with the GO2, that's not that hard. But I'm like, any camera's great, don't get me wrong, but I just wanted to do something funky. And then, I was able to buy one of the new MacBook Pros when the ones like with the touch bar. So I was just like, oh, like, just like try to make something like very funky and like retro. And I don't know, the computer moved very efficient. So I could play and experiment actually. But I would just pretty much like had a clip, then put the same clip over, and then just did like some sort of like blending effect. And it kind of just merged with the image. Honestly, it was just like some sort of random accidental thing. But honestly, I was kind of going for like a murked out, like mind game, just like weird Blade video. Just because like, oh, my bad. What were you saying?
No. I was just going to say, did you see Robbie's new Full Spiral trailer?
I won't lie. I've never fucking laughed so hard of excitement. Because like, I kind of was there and I seen the man he was Full Spiral. LA will drive you insane. And like I'm so glad to see him turn his experience into like a badass artistic thing. Cause I'm like, he got a shit ton of clips like when we were filming.
Oh yeah.
Or like he's just been filming for a while, and he's been doing like all the stuff I've been saying. Like I think he's doing animation. Like, dude, if Robbie's doing something, he's going to do like every single part of it. So I'm just excited to see like him finally get this vision out. It's been a long time coming.
Have you ever seen the film Enter the Void by Gaspar Noé?
I've started it so many times, never finished it though.
Oh
never
my
finished
God.
it. Like
it's really honestly, hard to finish, but it's worth it. It's intense.
I was thinking I should try to finish that soon.
Yeah.
Now think about it.
I'm just saying the trailers, like I saw that film and I saw the trailer, I was like, oh shit, that trailer was sick. If you could do that in skating, that would be like lit. You could make it crazy. And then Robbie dropped that Full Spiral thing. I was like, well, he fucking did it.
Okay, he did it. Like when I say I laughed of excitement, like I was like, dude, he fucking did it.
That trailer, I was hyped as fuck.
Like I was like, that was low-key the first trailer in a hot minute. If we're talking trailers, I was like, damn. Like it doesn't matter if it was rollerblading, skateboarding, or like a Hollywood movie. I was like, that was a sick trailer, bro. Like, and I feel like it could cut to Robbie like eating a donut or something, talking. Like I was like, bro, like that shit is just hard in general.
Yeah, I just had to mention that we were talking about newer videos, and that definitely is, I think, was in all our lane of like what we wanted to see.
No, definitely. I think everyone needs to see that because for one, the man has been quiet, and two is just like, I don't know, at least me personally, I'm just like kind of just trying to just move forward and just be excited, dude. Like we really should pat ourselves in the back for hanging in there for a full year and just keeping our marbles together and just keeping the vibe alive. I'm like, because when the pandemic started, I was like, damn, I got some money. I'm gonna go buy some 909s just because I was like, we're skating. And started skating again, then like moved back to Chicago and got word that everyone's skating in the world. I'm like, everyone's talking about everything sold out and shit. I was like, rollerblades? Like sold out. Wow. Like, and I was just kind of in the back of my head, I was like, I knew it. Because when I started rollerblading, I was like, I had the choice. LeBar was like, you want to skateboard? I was like, no, I just not that interested. No roast. I was like, rollerblading just seems like it fits me better. And I just feel like I was so fortunate, truthfully.
It's become so expressive too. Like from the time that I started to now, it's like your whole body's in it.
Yeah. When I started, I was talking Ritter earlier, and I was saying how truthfully rollerblading's never had like that whole Venice Beach Rodney Mullen like freestyle, like just get funky vibe, I believe. And I just feel like it's kind of getting back to there because like a lot of people are just starting to goof around now, but also like people are just sticking to like the way skating should be, if that makes sense. Like still doing tricks and just like, I don't know. I just think like if I ever do something like new school or innovative, I'm like still trying to bring that hammer effect to it, or the same as if I like grind a rail or do a gap or anything like that.
As long as it gives you that feeling, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
just that dance, truthfully, you know. Yeah, exactly.
Dude, what you just said reminds me of that first, I think it's that first Haitian announcement that you guys made where you do that 180 over like this curved kinked rail.
Oh, the zero spin.
Or the zero spin. That's what that clip was wild.
The scariest experience of my entire life. But low key, I like did it second try. And really it's just like I've driven past that spot so many times, like the Chinatown days, and everyone's like, dude, what were you on? I'm like, peer pressure. 10 of your friends saying, do it, you have to. 1K, I'm like, all right, with this for the company. And like, honestly, that kind of like, I'm trying to bring that attitude back because I ran track and field and like, I just watched some of my high school tapes recently and like, I was just going hard, truthfully. I was like,
the eye of the tiger, dude.
The eyes, bro. I was like, is that your boy? I didn't know. I lost that fire. It's just because I've been behind the camera and I was like, I'm trying to really bring that back into, at least with my personal skating. Because I'm like, I don't want to really, like, I miss all the old times, yada, yada, whatever. It's like, I'm just trying to skate hard, bro. Like, yeah, I got something to say, truthfully. For myself personally, I was like, I've always wanted to like try to skate harder and just be more like active with it.
And we're reaching that age where it's like I can now see like the window. It's like when I was like 21, you're like, oh yeah, I can do it or I cannot. It doesn't fucking matter. But now I'm like 27. I'm like, yo, you got like 5 years left, dog. Get ready.
5 years, bro. Until like you're skating every now and then. But like, I feel like I got another 5 of like skating. Like, because I know how to do this process. Like, especially I've skated with like some great people and like those experiences like are just priceless. So I'm like, I just see how like I just started source code and I really started source code because I just like knew I was about to skate again, low-key. I was like, I'm gonna skate again personally. I was like, there's no team, I don't even know. I was like, I got some clips. Let's start there. God damn it. And like, I just know people like true skaters and just future skaters are going to resonate towards that because that's just like skate. Like there's no like corporate agenda or anything. There's no yada yada. Like everyone, is just really doing it because it's like it's just something to be enticed by currently. It's like until you find something else to like do in the time being. But I was like, it seems like we got a lot of free time and we can skate. Until someone says otherwise, I don't know.
I mean, all over the world, apparently they're selling out of skates in all our cities.
I'm saying there's been like a memo. Someone said, let the skates go. I was like, all right, I'm ready.
Yeah, I mean, you've been in the game for so long, and we want to see you in it now too.
I mean, honestly, I've come to realize that too, especially like when I talked to LeBar and like make that remix at it. I was like, damn, it's been 5 years since we've skated like that. And I was like, because I just been deep on the music tip, I guess. And I was just like, damn, it takes, like, I didn't realize how long that would be, I guess.
The music died?
Yeah, of a hiatus. Yeah, I was like, I remember like those clips I filmed in LeBar, that's like when I started making music in 2015. It was like, it was all a dream, low-key. But I mean, honestly, I'm very fortunate and like, I really low-key think anybody can do it. Like, I think anybody can do anything they want to, low-key. And I'm a goddamn testimony of that. And we all are. Like, we are all little skate grunts or little runts. And now we're like, got a little podcast going. Like, it's pretty grown, like intellectual. It's like, we got to lead the way for future generations. And honestly, that's like a reason why I was like, I have to continue the skate theory. I was like, the little homies, like, they need a skate company to look at. I was like,
and they need a guy like you that's done different things. I think like all of us doing these other things too, like you diving into music and then coming back out and be like, yeah, that isn't just all of it. It's like there's more music and skating to come, both.
I mean, truthfully, and honestly, it works vice versa. Like with the music, like some people have found out I've skated and lost their goddamn mind. And I'm like, yes, bro, like be hyped because like this is rare. Like we got like 200 views on this or something. I don't know, like not that matters. But I was like, awesome. Like let's re-upload these projects. Like let's get this re-seen. Like there's new people coming into the theater right now. And all they want to do is just get a good show, which is I would too. Like when I started, I was like, LeBar, what is this activity? He just put on Aragon. I was like, okay. Well, all right.
That pretty much sums it up. That's the activity.
I said, say less. Give me the skates.
Okay, so you brought up LeBar a couple times now, and Bright Ideas was a huge inspiration on me and my crew as kids. Like
that is amazing.
Yeah, same age, like the whole thing. I've seen LeBar section a dumb amount of times. Like
I'm telling you, there's something wrong with him. Ever since I met him, I saw him in middle school and he just had a gold chain with a Be Unique shirt. I was like, this kid, I might need to fucks with him. And then like, sure enough, we got into the Blade game quickly. I was like, I just never have met someone so real in my entire life. Him and 10, like, I remember moving to that area and just being really sad. And like, I'm so glad my mom moved there. I was like, damn, bro, I met some skate legends at Gary Avenue. And like, just how we like kind of tackled the sport low key. Like, I like really, because the internet really wasn't that popping back then. So it's kind of just like, just get going on your own low key. But I feel like now, like, had we known like you guys were crushing too, it was like, oh shit. Like I remember when we found out about Dylan Davis and all of them in Madison. And it was crazy. Like we all met up and partied hard. We partied and skated. And like, that's when I knew I was in for it. I was like, these are my brothers for life, like skaters.
So just for a frame of reference, how old were you when you met Finn and Nick? And then how old are you when you guys eventually meet Dylan?
I met 10 and Nick when I was like 13. And then we all met Davis around like, I would say 16, 17.
Okay. So you met, like, how old were you when you eventually finish Bright Ideas then?
I'd probably say like 15.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in like a freshman in high school. I think 15.
Wow.
Yeah, young.
It holds for sure. Finn's backslide is insane. He's a child, and he's backsliding.
Child. Like, that's why I sat back until now. I was like, I am a child, bro. You guys are crazy. Like, honestly got peer pressure by Labar though. Like, Labar just saw 10 and was like, 10, you gotta like get your NIMS ready. Like, we're gonna take you to a hand round. Like, I've never seen like such a like sensei guru relationship, but 10 goddamn it can skate. Like, I want him to get back in the game so hard. And 10 doesn't even have to even think about it, bro. He just gotta strap up. It's over.
It seems that way.
It's over. Like, he'll just throw a true top torn like it's nothing. It's like,
such a great right foot catch with the backslide.
Yeah, he does it like it's like, honestly, he does it like a dancer or something, like Rush Hour. I'm just like, you're like finessing the shit out of that true top torn.
Yeah.
Talented. But yeah.
So you're about 16, 17 now when you meet Dylan. And like that kind of moves you into
Honey Baked.
Yeah, Honey Baked.
That's where I found out about you guys, and I was like, yo.
Yeah.
I watched that a lot. I was like, this is what we should do, guys. Let's get these cameras. Let's go do this.
Honestly, Honey Baked is all like, I'm definitely a main nucleus of that, but Dylan Davis, I'm talking about a leader. The man literally was like, hey, get the cameras out. Like, I'm coming down. Like, we're skating. And I was like, huh? He was like, we're skating. We're going to all film. Like, I just, that shit popped. Cause like, I honestly like just got into filming. So like, it's kind of like, you always know there's big bro into everything. Like, kind of everyone's like, oh, nice edit. I'm like, ah, shit. Like, I'll try better next time. But like, to see us just really go for it. And that kid's just like very technical and like he read the forums. Like, he was like, turn steady shot off. I was like, oh, like, just like really like, just like kind of anal about everything. And like, that could be annoying, but I was like, then you look at the finished product and I'm like, oh, you are a genius.
It's really professional and it's really like, it's an adult.
Professional. It's adult.
Dude,
like,
yeah. And just saying, Dylan Davis, that guy is probably my favorite skater of all time. I think he was like,
absolutely. He was honestly,
Dylan Davis our generation's like, Lily.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's every time you say that, you're right.
He was honestly like very activated at a young age.
Yes,
I would say.
And
like the way I feel now about like my swag and like the way I skate and shit, Dylan felt that when he was 15.
Yeah, and he looked like that.
Yes. Like, it's crazy.
There was such a click too. I don't know where it happened. Like, I remember seeing Dylan like skate on the internet, like AMOL times, and he was like, "Oh, that's a kid that skates. He's good." But then he moves to California, and like something fucking happened, like in that Honey Baked. Like,
he got dope, low key. Like, I remember too, because like, we like just started off. Honestly, first clips, like you can see it. We were just starting off, and then him, Luda, Labar, and no, 10 didn't go. It was just him, Luda, Labar went to California, and I swear they like hit a couple thrift stores. It's like Luda actually is when shit started to get like really cool, quote unquote, just like with the quotations, like niggas wearing handkerchiefs and shit. I was like, okay, like we used to getting swag on them now. But like at first it was like serious, but like 10, like watching that part now, like him kicking a rock with the handkerchief, I was like, you're just a little rock star, bro. Like, and we need that in skating. Like, I swear, just like you need the 540 con guy, bro. You need 10 kicking rocks, and you need like me jumping over something, like just every type of variant, because like you never know how like someone will get hyped, truthfully.
Yeah.
Like,
and
you follow some of the young guys now, like Ilya and Matt Reyes?
Absolutely, yeah. I was like, I'm starting to follow a nice amount of people, and every day I'm like, that's why I low key am staying on Instagram. Like, people can hate on it, it's overwhelming, yada yada, but I'm like, I'm using it on some positive and like trying to network, and I'm finding sick skaters, and I'm seeing sick skating finally, and not even finally, just like once you look for it, you're gonna find it. So it's just like,
yes,
like I'm honestly tapped into all y'all now, and like, not that I wasn't, but like, it's just like once I'm like, okay, I'm on y'all's ass. Like, what's new? Like, where are the new clips? Like, and I'm just like hyped every single time. And like, that's why I'm trying to just get my camera going again over here and just like trying to round up the troops. And like, there's a lot of skaters in Chicago, but we're all spread out. So like, kind of just got to put the bird call out. And honestly, I got like a nice handful of people that are trying to join the game and are serious. And like, I already got a handful of friends that are rollerblading that are good, can grind rails and shit. I'm like, damn, like I want to like watch out for them.
Dude,
like, hey, like let's go street skating, and like you should film for my company and shit, and like make it like a real experience, because I know what makes it skating fun, like the road trips, like the fucking awesome movie at the end of it all, and like meeting new friends, and actually like taking something, having like a serious hobby in your life. And maybe it might be your profession if you're fortunate. But
dude, you called it a bird call. I think you put out the bat signal with this one. I'm like, the real one should see it and be like, yo, we need to
full
get
bat
out
signal,
man.
honestly. That's why I keep saying LeBar too. Like, even though LeBar is in the Navy, like he's got a contract, we are plotting. I'm like, young man, if you care about this relationship, get up here soon. Or like, I was trying to get down there like at the end of the month, but like just finances and yada yada. So like things are getting postponed. But I just know the fire's being reignited, because like I would not even be rollerblading if it wasn't for Mans. And like I'm thinking about all the connections, and like I wouldn't even be making music if it wasn't for rollerblading. So I'm just like, dude, I'm fortunate enough to have time to focus on both right now, as opposed to like before, like, or at least last year in LA, I was like playing a bunch of shows and working full time. So like skating was literally out of the question. Well, I'd be hanging out with like Roscoe and Danny Beer, and I'm like, all right, boys, see you later. I'm like, damn, I'm not really gonna go skate with these niggas. Like, I'm on a different tip. Like, that's really, and I was kind of taken back myself, honestly. I was like, damn, the music is like, not that it's taken over, but I was like, that's when I knew I cared about that also. So I was like, all right, let's just like sit back and just let it'll happen if it needs to happen again. Then the pandemic hit. Like straight up, I like, just as I started like pondering about skating again, like I worked with darts too, so I would see the man every day. He'd be like, when's the next time? And I'm like, shit, like soon. But yeah, I just haven't had to find the passion again. I feel like a lot of people, especially when you've been doing it for a long time, like it's easy to like remember all the politics or just like bad experiences. But like then when I just skated with like, honestly, I just skated with some random folks or by myself one day, or just like for the love of it. I was like, oh my God, like this is so fun. And it was just like, I can't like not put on for my city when I got those skates on. Like I'm going hard, basically. Even if it's like no company, no sponsor or anything, like I'm still like missed a flip, or like it's just like that's what makes me like enjoy rollerblading.
It's fun growing up with this hobby. Like you never realize it when you're like 21, you're like, that's like when you're looking at it as your whole life. But now it's just like, I'm glad it's there.
I'm really glad it's here, because I'm like low key, especially being on the music shit and like raving and whatnot. I'm like, that lifestyle is awesome. I'm like, oh my God, that vitamin D, where is it? Like, I'm like, and I see like a lot of my other friends, like they can't go skate. I mean, they got to buy some, but I'm like, I can go skate. I'll be like, oh shit, I want to go skate, and be like grinding handrails or like doing gaps or something, like having a lot of fun. Because I remember the learning curve And it's just like,
yeah, dude.
like,
Like
How much of a
you
curve either, dude? It's pretty fucking flat, man. It's a steady slope, man. It takes forever to be like.
It takes forever. It takes forever.
Decent.
I remember when I went to the roller rink as a kid, I was terrified. I would be like, I wouldn't even go out on the circle. I'm like, I'm amazed to see how far I've taken the skating. Truthfully, I'm like, oh damn. I was like, I guess it did work out.
I think that's something that's not really talked about either. Is like the very slow learning curve that is rollerblading. Like you always got told it's so fucking easy. It's too easy. Like it actually honestly, is so hard to make look decent.
That's really where the conflict starts to rise. But the people I've seen pick it up quick, low key, are people that skateboard first. Like LeBar, the reason why he got so swift at it, he went to Lake Owen and just like met some new friends, he said, and put on skates and like it was a wrap. Because he was like, I was just instantly better. And I was like, I see that with a lot of my skateboard friends, and like the difference is though, they'll like get good at it for a second, and then like the real thing is if they actually want to skate, that's when it's like you're gonna be like a skater, or like you gotta get some style, or like dive more into this practice. Like a lot of people can DJ or make a beat, but then like you want to make beats like Metro Boomin, you got to figure out how to get your 808 more on point. Then you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like there's levels to like every single practice, I feel like. So
that was
it's like that's why I fuck with Too Easy a long way. I'm like, I swear to God, the amount of times people will be like, oh, it's the easiest thing ever. I'm like, maybe. I was like,
but make you look good and dare you.
Yeah, I was like, not even as a competitive, like put them on. Put them on, because boy, I looked like a clown for years at first. Yeah. I looked like a clown. I'm like, and I'm honestly, I'm a very stylish young man now. I was like, damn boy, if you're young, the kid could like, dude, it's a learning curve, and I don't even care.
I mean, I think you were like a stylish young man when I met you when you had the mohawk.
I mean, that's like when I started to hang out with the stylish young lads. You know, the other lads. Nah, I loved when you guys came through to Kansas City. That's like that's the definition of like why we skate, low-key.
Dog,
that was classic.
I just gotta say, me and Tyler Knight, like we've mentioned that we've grown up from this point since we met you. And in that time, I was like, yeah, I've gone to Tyler and we've talked. We're like, yo, we were so fucking annoying. We were so stupid. Like, we didn't know what the fuck was going on when we got there. We were out there with cameras, like filming shit. And you guys were looking at us like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And we were like, we don't know.
To be honest, so cool. I think that's the first time all of us were like, oh shit, there's like another group of people like us. They're like like-minded, like skate rats. Like, they'll just pile in the van and skate all day too. Honestly, because that's how Blade Casey Mo looked at us when we moved there. They're like, oh, 20 skaters? Like, what the fuck? Like, it's just kind of like, not even overwhelming. Like, that's why I kind of like cherish that experience. I was like, even if it was like just a lot of dudes or whatever, I was like, dude, that was based. I was like, skateheads unite.
I walked away from that house in KC and I was like, I gotta get a fucking guitar. They were doing shit that was fun as fuck, and I couldn't have fun with them in that way. I was like, I gotta get on that fun too. You just see shit and it's like, that's fun.
No, and it's really dope too to see, like, I mean, it's like shit. We're just fortunate to be a little bit older. It's like shit. If the tables are turned, y'all would show us the rock. We're like, hey, guitar, and we're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get one. And it's like I'm hyped to see like everyone branch out and become their own person too, and just like have their own like input to add, because at the end of the day, it's like we don't really gotta all agree. We're just like doing a similar activity, and it's nice to link up.
Dude, I think we gotta hit on this. What was it like the beginning of Haitian Mag and all that went around that, like when you guys were first in LA and like the beginning? Can you like tell us a little bit about that? Because that's like, dude, you're a part of one of the biggest movements in our culture. Like, that's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haitian,
honestly,
the two of us. So I hope I'm not speaking too much for you. It was super
No,
for me.
I don't even mind talking about Haitian.
You got
Much
it
love
on
to
your
all
wrist,
the
so
boys.
it's
Like,
clearly pretty
yeah,
important.
honestly, and of course, and that's what I mean by like trauma and just past experience. I'm like, dude, I'm older now. I'm a young man. I'm like, the hell do you expect with 12 boys in one house? So like, we tried our hardest, but like the beginning honestly was amazing. Like I dropped out of school and I was like, my parents were like, yeah, you can go to California and skate and just run it up. And I was like, y'all are really nice to me. Thank you. And like, like they didn't help me out or anything, but like as a black kid, like for them to let me drop out, like I was like about to get a track scholarship and shit. Like that was a very like huge life shift. Like,
wow, so you ran like that. What was your event, just out of curiosity?
The 400 meter and then like the 300 meter hurdles.
Oh shit.
And then just like relays and stuff like that. Yeah.
Damn. The
I was on them. I mean,
the gnarly one.
It's brutal. It's brutal, but honestly, it's a very like Olympian race, in my opinion. Yeah. I was like,
and the 400,
especially when when I found out I was good at them too. I was like, I see why like the coach keeps putting me in this awful race.
You still run
awful race. No, but honestly, that's at least why I'm starting to skate again. I was like, let me like ignite my fitness bug up. But really, I was like, skating's not the same as running either. I was like, I would like to start running again, but I don't know. I was like, maybe
time.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, but maybe I don't know. We'll see what happens.
But
I definitely
sorry for that side note. But yeah, back to the like beginning of Haitian. So you're coming off of Honey Bake, correct? It's like right around that time.
Mm. Yeah, it was like about a year after. Yeah, about a year after Honey Baked, and it was sick as hell. Honestly, at first, like first couple of days, could not find a place. So we just went out there, like 5 of us at first, and we were like, we're just gonna try our luck at getting a spot together. But really, like,
so who's the 5 of you?
It was me, Beanham, Davis, our homie Dell, I think Darst at first, and then I think Labar, Tin, and various others joined shortly after. But I think that was the starting cast. But it was honestly just a huge blessing. Like we found a place immediately, then moved into a nice ass house in LA and just like didn't have to do anything. No one said shit to us. We were like, what should we do? And Davis is like, skate, like turn the cameras on. Like we had 3 VXs, like everything just really was ready to go. And Bino was like itching to get his little artistic bug and like shooting photos and 10 shot photos also. So it was like really just like the United Nations, like everyone just gathering and bringing all their talent. And truthfully, I didn't expect anything less from us, but really like, I would say like in hindsight, like with an idea like that, it's just hard to keep it afloat when there's no like capitalistic financial ideology behind it. Yeah, dude, you gotta have a premise. And like, don't get me wrong, like we can be rockers all day and like say we don't care, but I'm like, we need a check, bro. Like even Baker 3 got the check. I'm like, and it's fine because skating like wasn't like that at the time, but like I just look at like skates being sold out now and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, like it's not too far-fetched to like get something like that happening and like that amount of love and dedication or something towards like a project and like see it like actually take off and then actually see it turn into something. And like truthfully, I feel like it works out on both ways. Like when someone's getting paid for their craft or when people are paying for something, they're like, you enjoy it a little bit more. Like you pay to see a movie, you're like, yeah, that hit a little bit harder in the theater. Is like, you know, it's like release date and stuff like that. And like think about all the times you've been in like and seeing like a skate movie release or a premiere, and like it's just exciting.
So powerful.
No matter what, everyone's just like turned no matter what. Like even if it's not the best movie, it was like thought that counts. It was like especially when it's skating, everyone's like, I still fucks with it. Like, and that's like that's the dopest part, especially like at least with me and my crew, like, don't get me wrong, we like let's not, or I won't say like I love everyone skating, but like at the end of the day, I'm like, it's not my cup of tea. Like, and especially as a grown up, I'm like, everyone should do what makes them happy. And like, I was like, hone in on the skating that makes you want to continue skating. I think that's like, especially with the resources we got at our hand, like you can really follow and tap into who you want and like kind of just make your own little universe. Especially like, I mean, I'm a perfect example. I'm like third attempt, I'm like, let's just do another skate company. And like, honestly, not that even like the last two skate companies were a fail or anything. I just see like they were like very like sick cultural identities in skating, and now I'm trying to like make source code something similar, but make it like the longevity of it. Like for myself, truthfully, I'm like, I care about this sport and this activity, and like I want to put forth what I have to offer. It's like, it's almost like I'm like, why am I sitting on the sidelines? It's almost like a slap in the face to skating.
I agree with that.
I like, and that's how I've been feeling lately, especially when I think about like having Negretti as my mentor and like just being a kid and watching the meantime, just like I'm like, what the fuck? That was sick. Like, oh, like that's the first time I ever was like shook by some skating. I mean, Checkmate and like various other films like 2 Feet, like they started that whole like you can swag out something or this, that, or like the camera work, but like really I just kept getting amazed by older influences, and like I want to put my torch in the ground for like the next little homie and that's on the way shooting videos, because you know there's somebody out there, especially like nowadays. It's like, yeah, it's like so easy to stumble into being a videographer. You're like get put on film duty because you can't skate, and then you're the one making like sick videos or something. So I was just like, it's cool to think about it in that sense.
Yeah, and there's just so many more avenues to skating and participate in skating that like, even if, like you said, you're not the most gifted skater and your homies are killing it, like you can participate. You can be a sick filmer, be the best.
Absolutely, yes.
The best
and
shit.
Honestly, I've had friends that have like, we got a friend called Big Rig. The man like started skating when I started skating, and he's like still my good friend. Like we work on music, but like, bro, he can throw him on and still grind. I'm like, that's like what gets me going. I'm like, damn, Rig, you can still porn star like years later. Like no one loses this activity, which is why I'm like, I'll see like Gabriel Hayden just came back on fire. I was like, yes. I was like, you don't lose something that you like cared so much for. I don't care what it is. I was like, it could have been knitting. I was like, dude, you're gonna remember how to get that like awesome pattern back.
Listen to that Jump Street podcast. I think really inspired us to do this too, because you hear like they talk to people that are totally out of it, and they're like, it never left them at all. I'm like, you can see what the activity, like the place it brings them when they start talking about it. You're like, yo, this is different. Like this stays with you forever.
And it makes you not leave. When you see people speak like that, it makes you like, oh, that in between period probably wasn't that sick. Like,
no, absolutely. Yeah. And honestly, especially when you just kind of see like this, you just see a little bit of unity. Well, I like feel like something's gonna happen next week, maybe. Like maybe it'll be a new edit. Who knows? Like, because I know at least personally too, like being a creator, I'm like, not that I even get overwhelmed, but I'm like, where everybody at? Like, where are the other cliques and crews and videos and like companies and yada yada? And like, I remember like me and Spencer always talk about Chinatown, and like, we like really wanted to find that bowl, everybody. We tried. I like low-key did find it, but it's just there's so much stuff that goes into that little like niche. I was like, it's just like more of a concept, basically. But I
was about to ask about that.
Yeah, I was like,
was there actual plans to make hardware?
Absolutely. At first, there was like extreme plans, but then we realized how hard it was. we're like, hey, where'd you get that bolt from? Everyone's like, we're like, oh damn, like you can't really find that anywhere. So we were like scheming up ways to do it. And then honestly, the dream just died and we started skating about it instead. And then it just became a joke. But then like Chinatown kind of died out and I kind of drifted away. And like, then I was like, oh no, I want to skate again. And like, I was like, yo, I'll find the bolt to get it going again. And I found the bolt in Alabama. But like, it still didn't even come out. But I was thinking about the bolt lately for source code. I was like, maybe we make that happen.
Well, it should be the Chinatown hardware bolt.
Yeah,
via source
code. Stop, thank you. Presented by source code.
Yeah, because it finally
got it. Start honestly, low key.
I would buy just a singular bolt. I think that would be fucking hilarious.
You know what's crazy about this convo? The company that I found the bolt from in Alabama is in Chicago down the street. I saw it yesterday. And like, I might just have to go full boss town and get the bolts.
So when you say the bolt, is it like frame bolts?
Yeah, it's just the Hex M6 bolt or something. I like had to do some research on deep websites. But like, you could also like order it from China. There's like some weird ones online, but I don't think they're like that well off. And I honestly have just never invested to order them. But I think I'm like kind of hyped on the idea again. Or maybe
it's pretty sick.
Aftermarket really good frame bolts would be sick. That's like
it's not even that far-fetched anymore because I'm trying to set all the new homies up and I'm like, damn, I gotta figure out where the bolts at. Like I don't got no bolts for y'all. It was kind of insane. I was like,
I skate Ace hardware. Honestly. No frame bolts.
Yeah, honestly, that's genius design. That's that USD. They got that power slide conference.
It's like
computer
money.
Yeah, big tech money.
Yeah,
which is great. No, bring it here. So, yeah, I mean, maybe that one will pop off. Thanks for sparking the idea again.
Yeah, I really wanted to ask you that. I'm glad you brought it up. Like that, I wanted there to be hardware. I thought that was a fun idea.
Yeah, honestly, it's crazy how fast something can get swept under the rug. Especially when like you start shooting a video and stuff, everyone's just like, I want to get clips. I'm trying to get clips. Like we were not planning
about it rather than just even figuring it out.
We were not planning out bolts.
Dude, that's another tough thing. I mean, you're thinking about music, skating, putting the music in the skating, and then you're like, oh, we're gonna make hardware too. There's a lot of shit going
honestly
on.
A lot of shit. I won't lie, I don't like, I know the pandemic's been hard and it's sad, but like, god damn it, I needed a minute to breathe. And like, I swear, had it not been for the pandemic, I wouldn't even be like interested in skating again. I was like, I didn't even have the time to think about this activity that I love. And like,
apparently,
it's like
the whole world didn't realize that it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, the world needed some time, bro. And like, I swear we're gonna look back in the past and look at those skateless years and be like, those years were not that sick, bro. Like,
that's something that I really wanted to talk to you about. And like, you are one of the driving forces in those dark years.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you really are. Like, from Honey Baked into Haitian Mag into like even the Chinatown stuff, like it really did push those like somewhat dark years. And thank you.
I kind of
is my thing.
I appreciate that a lot, truthfully. I mean, I kind of like just going over the, I guess, IMDb last night. I was like, damn, what have I made? Like, I've drifted for a hot minute. I was like, wow. Like, it got me hyped again, for one, on video editing. I was like, dude, I've really like care about that activity. I'm like, I can make music videos now and do like other various things. But I was like, skating had changed my goddamn life. And like, I can like realize that, especially stepping away and getting blessed with another talent. I'm like, because honestly, the music show, like, I always knew like I had good taste when, especially since I came from like a skating background. It's like, I know like a good song and whatnot, but like to actually have it just like to like have people show up and dance and support. I was like, it doesn't matter if you got paid $10, $1,000. I'm like, thanks for coming out. I appreciate that, because that little ditty was just on my computer, and now it's like maybe like your new song or something, or like I don't know. It's cool to see it like develop something.
Somebody move with the thing that you typed out of your computer is fucking awesome.
Dude, literally. And I remember when I started, I was like, you can't do it like this. I think I was like, I remember like I was like, don't you need like a guitar and like the drum? And then like I just read some interview and Buddy was like, bro, you just need a laptop. I was like, bet. And like that's when my nerd hacker side came on, and like I had a lot of free time, so I'm just thankful, truthfully. And it's like I was like, that really kind of gave me more time to focus on like thinking about video editing too. I was like, oh, maybe I could like chop it up a little bit harder or something, or like I don't know, dive deeper into it. And you actually can, like, I'm finding out new stuff in Premiere low-key every time I think about it. I was like, they got like templates and stuff you can throw over footage, and like there's just so much stuff you can do, like build a universe.
I think like color work, that's where I like go off. Like I'll
honestly, yeah.
And then like in the end, that's like one of the final things. I'm like, color work takes me just as much. The editing is like weirdly easier because
the editing actually is, it's very Tetris. So here's like clip. You're like bops. You're like
yeah.
You're like it's kind of like you're like all right, that rides. But like when it comes to the color, I guess it is very like emotional, and I guess that's why a lot of people are like, dude, what's up with that last ride too? Like, and I'm like, I think about like my color correction thesis, and I was like, I'm just so removed from skating, and like I'm such like an artistic dude. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I want the clips to look funked out, and like just really like I just kind of kept thinking about Jet Set Grind Radio. I was like, damn, skating's so weird. Especially like after I stepped away from it from like a year and a half, I was like, damn, this shit's like really funny to me. It was like, it's awesome. Like,
It sometimes it takes that like step back and then step forward, and then you're like, oh yeah, this is like it's a different enjoyment when you can step back from it for a second.
Mm-hmm. Truthfully, and honestly, just having some good friends just to hang in there. Like Darce, honestly, I know it killed him to watch me not skate. Like, but he like low key remained a good friend, like, and just stayed positive because he knew I was low key had my hands busy. I was full, and like.
So you were you're saying like you were with Darce when you were in LA. You guys were
working recently, yeah. We were working at this thrift store in LA.
How recently, and like what made you switch back to Chicago? Was it the whole pandemic and everything, or?
Yeah, the pandemic was like, let's get out of here. But I would say I worked with them when the pandemic started, March 9th, 2020.
Oh.
But we worked together for about a year, I would say. Or a little bit under.
So yeah, when did you get back to Chicago?
I moved back to Chicago in May.
Okay.
Yeah, like May, June.
So just about a year now? Or
not, I've been here for like 4 or 5 months now. Oh wait, no, shit, it's March. Yeah. About a year now. Oh damn, whoa.
I know this pandemic is like on 2 years long. I'm getting really fucked up with it too. You're not. Yeah. I'm right here with you.
Drifting, bro. I'm drifting. Yeah, I guess it's about a year now. It's kind of, especially think about what I've been doing the last year. I was like, we started skating at first, but I was like, once I moved back here, I was like, we were like skating a little bit, but honestly, it's just like I've come to realize like I have a lot on my to-do list, and I'm like, I kind of got to behave like a low key. And so I just kind of like, there's a learning curve to like becoming a young man, like tackling my responsibilities and just getting my life in order and whatnot. And like finally kind of hitting that on the nail. And like, I'm just so much happier. And I feel like I can like actually skate and like host people and like do parties and like not have it like drive me mad. Cause honestly in LA, I was like about fed up with the music. I was like, not even to like having skating to replace it. I was just like, need a break from everything. Like, especially working full time. I'm like, I just need to get money. Like, that's all that matters to me.
And LA
which is like
training and so hard to get ahead.
LA is like, you better be talking about some money, goddamn it.
For real.
Mean, unless you want to like have a kind of a bleak experience, like I won't take anything for vain, but I know if I ever relocate it, it's about money for me. I was just like, which it should be for anyone. You kind of need food, shelter, and clothing. Like, no matter what dream you're chasing. Like, I moved out there when I was like just chasing a dream in high school, and like that's straight. But I should have kind of low key got a job. I like went a long time just skating, which is sick. But I'm like, it's crazy to think. Like,
how did you guys sustain that for as long as you did?
Honestly, homies, being broke, EBT, getting sponsored low key. We honestly are some swindlers. People would be like, hey, let me throw my ad in y'all shit. We'll throw you some money. I'm like, bet. So like we kind of actually started to develop a system, but honestly, just that many dudes in the kitchen is like, I don't think we realized how special what we had was. And like, I remember kind of like just saying that one day, like towards the end of it. And I was just like, not even on some like sad boy, but I was like, damn, like things, you got to kind of fight to like keep shit afloat. Like look at Julio with Valo and like now him doing them skates. I'm like, that man really has no reason to continue, but he just wants to.
And he kills
I mean, he has all the reason, but I like,
now
he's
like, gonna keep it going. He's doing good right now.
Bro, he is a hustler. And I'm like, it could be mixtapes. He just like reminds me of like a rapper or something. Like that man's cool. And like, it makes me want to like get out there and just kind of shoot, like do what I have to offer. And honestly, it's like my source code is like based with rollerblading, but honestly, I'm just whoever's with the smoke, bro. Like I want it to be a show, basically. Like I have a bunch of ideas and like I want to kind of try to include the world. And just because I am fortunate to know or like have a different little network now, I guess. And like I didn't really even have like some grand scheme of it, like, oh, I'm about to like combine everybody, yada yada. But like people over here are asking about y'all over here. And I'm like, oh, I guess I could be the middleman in this transaction. Like, and that makes me happy seeing people unite, okay. Especially over some skating. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, I have tears in my eyes lately seeing people put skates on right away and grind and be like, what's the website? I'm like, yada yada intuition. We'll both go on there, sold out. I'm like, hey, maybe I could ask one. I'm like, oh, like you are stumbling into something that is really dope, actually. And like,
it's so weird.
I think
that
I think especially like
and we're hyped.
I think people too, like people seeing that they can't get something, it makes them even want it more. And I'm like, this is a time for everyone to just be like, all right, like I got something to say about skating, like, which is like good. That's how it's always been. Skating isn't a little bit of a sport. I'm like, shit. I know when they talking to Czech at the bitter cold, I'm like, Alex might do, or Sicko might do the fakey 540 sweaty, even though like, I don't know. It's just like, you see the animal come out in people. Like, it's just awesome. Especially when it's like, yeah. It was like, especially like watching someone like Bellino or something. Like seeing Bellino restart skating, I wouldn't even say I like said anything, but I just hoped. I was like, we started skating again slowly, myself included. I was like, Jonathan Bellino, you need to be rollerblading, young man. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, you're too lethal. Like, and look at him go
this weekend. That I was very, very happy.
I saw y'all out rallying, and I was like, dude, I cannot wait for all of us to just actually skate soon. I was like, and actually, like, we're gonna get together and low key probably appreciate it, like as a vacation, which it will be. But you know, what I'm saying?
It was awesome, man. Just to like be on that skate tour.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all went to Vegas, right?
Yeah, we went out to Vegas for the weekend. It was pretty fun. It's easy for me because my parents live out there, but
yeah, that's classic then.
Yeah, but it was fun for.
So you know some low key or some local spots then.
Not really. They're pretty recent for the move, so I've just been going out there on some like family stuff. But I've been scoping around, making some notes. I got notes too.
I got lucky. My mom moved to like Riverside a couple of years ago, so like I'm like low key always got a little hub in California, which is why I'm like I will always be back in Los Angeles. So like
you know Sam, right? Jeter? Sam Jeter.
Yeah, I saw that he stays out in Riverside recently. I was like,
teaches out there. So yeah. Whenever you're out there, make sure you hit him up. He's good. Dude.
Absolutely, fuck, dude. I'm like, and they just built some new parks out there. Like, I've only had a handful of friends come to Riverside to skate with me when I had to stay there.
They have a really fun DIY as well.
They do.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think
the one in like it's in like a little like river bed.
Yeah,
it's pretty fun.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Bro, you gotta have this event though. Can we
honestly
they want or 20 are we looking at 22? Because I'm coming.
What is 21?
No. Like, are we doing it this year? Are you gonna do it this year? Or are you gonna wait till everyone's cleared up to have this event? Because like this event that you're gonna have sounds so sick. I have to go to this thing.
Honestly, on some real, I'm like, it would be amazing to do it soon because we're gonna actually just have music events regardless. Like that, we're already in the talks of doing that. So I'm like, it's not that much hard to actually organize another side. I just got to call my skate heads.
Yeah.
But like, I'm trying to think like on some like respect, like the summertime might be a little too soon, I guess, to get like everyone to just jump to Chicago last minute. And I was like, I would like to do it in the fall, but the fall is a little tricky because Bashi Pope. And then it'd be nice to do it maybe like after or before Bashi Pope or something. Or I mean, maybe we'll just do it Vagabond and people will be able to get here. But like, I know getting tickets is kind of hard sometimes.
All right.
So I feel like, I was like, it's going to happen. But I'm like, maybe something like that classic, maybe it might be 2022.
Sure, yeah. Hey, we're like you said, we're adults now. We can think like I thought I had my shit together when I was 23. I was like, yep, I got it all going on. I know what life is. Now I'm like, all right, you got to take your time, plan shit out, get it right. Because like you said, you want to get it popping and like on some respect, get everyone involved, give everyone some time.
Yeah. Actually, you're right. That is the Douglas way to do it. Because it's like a lot goes into like you gotta find somewhere safe to be and like shit. And people like to party.
For sure.
If I know anything about rollerbladers,
I was like, dude, I kept the partying from rollerbladers. Like,
I definitely learned how to do that from the boys. That is a fact.
Yeah, right. Spend all those years misbehaving around your close friends, then you learn how to be a real one, get it done properly.
Yeah, truthfully. I was like, shit, so many bitter cold showdowns. I was like, I've drank with the gnarliest. Yeah. Oh, let me grab some. What's new with you guys?
I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm a pee too.
Once again, I'm here with the strongest bladder. I think Malcolm can still hear me though. He's got his headphones on.
Yeah, I can.
Sick. We're still podcasting. We just let the whole thing ride too. It's fun. Hey, this is where I do my spiel. Like, follow, subscribe. It all helps us. And one day we'll go live and we can have these talks live. Wouldn't that be neat, y'all? So tell your friends, be like, hey, subscribe to this cool channel so I can watch it like TV or something. I don't know. What else can I talk about? Once again, happy birthday, John Vasugi. If you didn't catch him on his birthday, because this episode will air after, you should just say, hey, sorry I missed your birthday. I know you're really important. And happy birthday, man.
Yeah, let him know he's important. He's an important boy.
He's a treasure. and our community.
Did you just do a spiel?
Of course.
Nice. I won't do it then.
Hello.
Hey.
Yo, I'm back. 1 second.
No,
you're good.
I'm back.
Oh, we got some toys.
Yeah, I got some tools. Get busy really quick. All right, can not do that on the podcast.
No.
All right.
Fuck you want, dude.
Wait. Is podcast audio, right?
Yeah.
Both.
Okay, good. Thank you. I was just double checking because honestly, I was like, I haven't or I didn't get time to look at the other one, so I was like, I don't know if you.
You don't even know. Okay, that's sick.
I'm a stoner, yeah. And I was like, I hope they don't or I hope they're not salty about that. But I was like, I'm just gonna go in honest.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we wanted to do this. This is our thing. Like, we don't care if anyone listens. It doesn't offend us at all. It's like we just wanted this to be.
You gotta start somewhere. I'm like, I already can tell. Like, and honestly, you two are like the chillest cats to talk to, especially about skating. I'm like, we need more people trying to gather some convo about the sport, especially like when we all see it's like there's like an evolution happening right now, especially even with actual rollerbladers. Like, everyone's starting to skate, not even different, but like everyone is skating the way they want to skate.
Exactly.
And I was like, you want to jump off the roof? Please go do it. Like,
encouraged.
Yeah, I'm like, no complaints here. Like,
yeah, but if you want to go grind a curb, have a fucking ball, dude. I don't care. Like,
have a ball, bro. Because I'm like, I swear, like some sessions, I will tear a curb up, and I would be like proud of myself. I'm like, all right, maybe I can do that trick on a handrail now. Like, it's just like, had I been like psyching myself out about like just the hardness or something or just whatever, it was like, you never know what you might be missing out on, truthfully. And like, I've realized that, especially like just being on the back burner kind of on skating for a little bit, just like wanting to obviously skate harder than I have been skating, but it's just like, it's an emotional process for me, truthfully. So especially being like a videographer, I'll be like, shit, I'll let Bellino skate. I'm about to chill today and just film the tricks or something. But like, I've come to realize lately that like I have something to say with like my physical skating actually too. And like, I'm like, it just got me so much, got me hyped in the activity again. I'm like, I've seen myself go. And I was like, I'm sure like a lot of like videographers feel the same way. They'll be like, kind of like super skate ahead for a minute, then like get like deep into the videos or something to kind of like, yeah, like take a break. And it's like, it's nice, honestly, to like take that break. That's like when I found like all the creative drive and like all the little technical stuff. So that back and forth is just like part of the process, I guess.
Your method sounds better than mine because it took me breaking my ankle twice. And then I was like, all right, well, I fucked this up. I fucked up the activity. So I'm like, I'm participating. So I'm gonna make a sick video. And I just like, all right, I'm doing that. I didn't even think about skating for a minute. I was like, yeah, I can't. My ankle's got like a tennis ball in it.
It's honestly pretty gross. Take my word for it.
You said what?
It's gross as fuck. You can take my word for it.
I was gonna say that's really the saddest introduction, but it's like, I'm glad.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess you had to be sat down somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. But it's cool because like after all this time, it's like it's kind of coming back. It's like you figure out a different way to enjoy it and different things that I'm gonna do, and you know what you're able to do, and it's like, shit, I'm just gonna be back in my own fucking way.
No, honestly, that is the dang truth. Because like, I was even shooting like a skate photo the other day. My friend skateboarding, and I just have a fisheye for my iPhone. I was like, all right, like, we ain't doing shit. Let me try to get a skate photo for the company. I'm like, I'm not a skate photographer, but I'm like very pleased with what I got. And I was like, damn, all right, maybe I could like grab a little setup to like be able to like document the sport more on the side besides just video and stuff like that. I'm like, it all goes hand in hand, truthfully. I'm like,
yeah, I've been thinking about the photo camera a bunch recently.
Yeah, honestly, I'm like, I like, especially like seeing that Stewart photo the other day, I'm like, it's nothing like a good skate photo, like where you can just see a man skate or a human skate. Is like, oh my goodness. Especially like, I think that's what really enticed me. Like videos always entice me, but like when I flipped through the magazines, I was like, hey, that's some like real fucking prime time live. Like no other like activity can kind of like touch that kind of like, maybe like fashion models and stuff like that, like the kind of like glitz and glam, like a skate ad or something will have. But I'm like, that is a rare activity and it's very like, we should cherish it. Like everyone getting the photo lighting and like someone actually taking a skate photo. And like, this is like, it really slept on part of skating now.
It's crazy. I feel like I'm so spoiled because almost every weekend, every Saturday, I'm with ESG and he's got the whole rig out. He's got all the flashes.
Oh my God. ESG is like, we need like 400 ESGs. That attitude, like I remember when he picked up photo and I love his stuff now. Like that's what I mean by like, not even like expecting something out of someone, but just seeing like someone grow with their hobby and their passion. Like, because I know ESG is like an OG, so he can probably feel me when he is like, there's a year where he was like on the sidelines and he was just like, I want to still participate. And like now ESG photo is like popping and the photos are like just growing and growing, like quality and quality. Like I was like, that's gonna get like, maybe someone's gonna be like, all right, maybe we should make a magazine again or something. I don't know. Like that's how it all starts. Just
the way he takes photos is like he's trying to kill it in skating. It's like he's gonna take a photo that's just as sick as his skating was. And
that's kind of how I feel about it. That's kind of how I feel too, because that's definitely how I like to do my video work. Like I watched like a recent video when I like Chinatown was like when I really cared about filming. I was like really in filming's ass. Like I watched the film and I was like, man, like just when you really want to try your hardest at like something, like when you like comes all the technical stuff and like little what's nots, I'm like, just having that thought is like important because I'm like, that made you feel like I took my time on that project and like, just like it's like honed and like craft and like I was like, maybe like that's what it's like to be like a professional at something, like just going over something over and over and just really like being like, not even like a perfectionist, but just kind of like having more input, if that makes sense.
I think this is a funny way that I always put it, but I think this is the only way I see it. It's like when we make certain stuff, like when we made so much stuff, you're like trying to flex on everyone else, but not in like a, like I'm better than you way, but just like flex for everyone else.
Yeah,
and like,
that's definitely what it is. Yeah.
Like Full Spiral, like when I that trailer, it's like he's flexing for us all, and I love it.
That's when I said I'd never laughed harder because like, bro, I seen Robbie move to America and like, dude, I moved to LA from Chicago and like that shit's just hard, man. Like, especially when you're not from that place, it's like it is what you make it. But I was just like, I've seen a city go backwards for someone, and like not saying that it went backwards for Robbie, but like he was at the raves, bro. Robbie came to my shows and I was like he kind of understood like maybe where I was headed to or just like what I was talking about. And like, I just feel like he kind of got a little bit of that like LA experience too, truthfully, especially like when you're just kind of like in a new city, you're like, yeah, I'll go to this party. Like, that sounds good. It's like, now we got the man at the rave. But like honestly, I feel like he loved it. Like I heard he's moving back. I'm like, I'm glad for him to like turn like
I'm glad to hear that too.
Just turn like a lit ass experience. I'm assuming from Full Spiral, like you don't get an artistic vision like that unless you've gone through it, bro. And like unless you really gone through like with the Haitian shit, I was like, it kind of really slapped because we were all like on some rock and roll banjo. It was like we were like really on some doomstoner, like yeah, like keep playing the guitar. I don't know. It's just like we were like feeding into the vibe. So like it's definitely nice to see like Robbie like go his hardest with the animation and like the colors and the graphics and stuff like that. I'm like, not to feel so lonely, especially me doing weird stuff with source code. I was like, all right, like I know I'm not the only one like trying to jazzercise this activity. Like it's like it doesn't have to be like that either, like what we're doing. But I was like, honestly, like I like those movies I named earlier. Like, you're like, what's the new movies you're watching? I was like, I like really want to make a real movie one day. Like that's one of my dreams. And I'm like, just like I feel like just watching so much cinema, I'm like, that's kind of how it started with like a skate video and like just like yada yada. I'm like, when you guys talk about like people like branching out and like coming back to the sport, I think that is pretty clutch, low key. Like, not to even like relate it to skateboarding, but I'm like, it's just so many like weird freaking personalities in that sport. And not saying rollerblader doesn't, but like we got to turn the camera on everybody. And like now we're in an age that we can do that. Like you don't really even need to know what you're doing. Just like record your homie and like Instagram, low-key might do the rest. Or like, I don't know, like all those homies in Africa that I talked to, like Daniel and like just the various squad. I'm like, dude, I literally like just flabbergasted.
Yeah, shout out to Daniel and Shinobi Blading, because
yes,
what they're doing is honestly insane. Like the fact that they took it out of nowhere. And
dude, talking about getting someone out the mud. Yeah. And I remember when Daniel hit me up and he was just starting. He was like, I'm hyped. I was like, you'll be good to go. You're good to go.
And like hyped, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, I honestly was just like, you'll figure it out. Like, not even on some like bully, but I was just like I saw the light in man's. I was like, and he was so like cool too. I was just like I know when someone's like really serious about skating, because I've had so many friends come and go, but I'm like, I know a skate head when I meet one, truthfully. And like looking at him now, he is a skate connoisseur. Like talk about like a brand ambassador or something. Like that's who I want like out repping my company and like spreading the word, or like just
he's on Adidas.
Yeah, honestly, it's just like when I saw them wearing the Adidas shirts, oh man. Like, and that's when I wasn't skating. I was like, okay, where are my skates? Like, and like recently when Dom West dropped that like National Geographic documentary of all of them, like I wasn't really skating much either. I was like deep in the music, and I remember I had like a house full of friends over, and we were just partying. I was like, hey, you guys want to watch my homies in Nigeria skate? And like people were moved. I was like, I never felt like so honored to like bring cultures together, especially when it comes to like my people, like Nigerian roots. I was like, and Dom West is like beautiful eye. I was like, damn, okay, like.
And you got B3 as like one of like co-hosts to like show you the love of skating. Come on.
Why is B3? That's I was gonna say. I was like, I know I'm missing something. The love, bro. Like
he brings it right there, and he shows. He's like,
"This is be a skater."
Yeah,
you don't even have to be a skater.
No, it's so universal.
That was the most universal thing I witnessed in a long time, and that's like what moved me to. Not saying that I'm like, or just like kind of like trying to think in that mindset. I'm like, I want to get on some community like YMCA. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still like OG hardcore skate video. Like, I want that too, but I'm like, I know there's just like a social aspect to the sport that we're missing, truthfully. Dude, and like that's why. All right, my bad.
No. I was just gonna say I'm just hyped on that part where they're like going through sketching on the cars, and he's got that like super dramatic music going. I don't know, that part gave me the chills.
It's hard, bro. That kid did doing a 3 wall ride.
Oh, that's
like, that was the long.
That's what I mean. Like, I was just like, yo, like that was some like just do it Nike type shit. Like, I don't know.
It's just the 3 out too.
I believe so, honestly.
Yeah,
I think I'm just shook by like how lit it was. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the kid Brave. They call him Brave.
Yeah, that's Brave. Yeah. That's a sick name.
Yeah, good nickname.
Yeah, that's an amazing nickname. And he's very brave, bro. I'm
Clearly,
like,
dude,
you're already
wall ride. Fuck.
Wall ride. And you can tell he like is doing it on some, oh, you already throwing the 3 wall ride? Like, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And it's starting to get nice in Chicago again. And like, oh man, talk about missing an activity. Like, cause there's like the indoor situation out here isn't the worst, but you just kind of got to drive like an hour and some change. And my car is a little just under the wraps for the winter. Yeah, just like it's from California, so I had to like honestly put some work into it. Like this car is not a Chicago car, no.
But that beach weather.
Yeah, exactly.
Starting like, the cold, like.
Yeah, I got getting everything in order on that front. I was like, I'm excited to navigate this landscape. I'm like, just honestly, I realized I was like, if I want to have a good experience skating too, it's like, it's up to me, truthfully, which is, it's always been up to me and it's always up to you. It's like, call your friends to skate. Like, be like, hey, we meet on Fridays to get clips or whatever. And like, I think that's what makes it like just like a activity you don't want to like miss out on. Like that, when I say like a Sunday brunch thing, I was like, I see why a man won't miss Sunday brunch. Like, why would you? It's so simple. Stop. That's what I'm getting at. It's like,
right?
You need a solid reason to miss that.
Yeah.
Sorry, 1 second. I'm texting now, man.
That's all good.
Very good. Yeah, I mean, the Sunday brunches are nice. Fucking like Monday night skates. I need sort of like weekly session where you just know you show up. You don't even got to ask anybody if they're going. Somebody's going to be there. And that leads me into, do you go to TNS?
I was going to say I have not gone, but I will start making it a point to be a little bit more active, especially just because the park is dope. It's like, it's hard to honestly gather everybody. So shit, if someone is organizing the TNS, like, just get there.
They still do it at that plaza, even if it's the winter?
Honestly, I saw on the page lately, they just like have been skating some parking lot as of lately. Yeah, but I think they'll probably get back to the park soon when it's nice or something. Not too sure. Well, I'm sure the pandemic kind of got it a little quiet too at first because no one was skating at first.
Is that that park under the bridge, like the one that Colin filmed the 25-cent edit?
Yeah,
that's still there, or?
Yeah, it's still there. It's sick, but it's just not in the best condition.
Okay.
Honestly, it's an amazing location. Like, especially, I feel like skating is just kind of boosting back up on all fronts, skateboarding, biking, whatever. I'm like, they need to make that place safe first and foremost. So like, it's dangerous, and I feel like a lot of skate parks are in that condition. I'm like, maybe we need the dads to come and build the ramps for us again, like, or we'll do it this time. Like, it was like, we kind of need to like put some money back into some of these landscapes, or like that's when people go street skating and like we'll tear up the streets instead. I was like, make nice skate parks, or
your like handrails are going to be fucked.
Your handrails might get grid. I was like, if I see a good grindable handrail, even if I'm with my girlfriend, I'm like, hell, bro. I'm like, and shit, like, so like they start to catch on after a while, but like anyone, even your parents were like, that rail.
Yeah, my dad has sent me photos of like ridiculous down rails. He's like, you gonna hit it? Like, no.
Oh my god. I bet you'd be sending some insanity sometimes too.
Oh yeah, dude, they're like insane, like not touchable spots. Like,
I was gonna say, I know a dad when they're hazing you, sending you like the highest handicap row.
Yeah, straight hazing.
Oh shit.
My mom honestly something, and she was like, "What's a hammerhead?" And I was like, "Oh, that's like someone that likes to like jump off big things and go down rails." And she's like, "Oh, it's like you." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I would definitely say I'd throw you in the hammerhead bucket. Nothing wrong with that.
No, yeah, I was just like, that's how I like to do it. It's not the most sustainable.
I think hammerhead's a mentality. Honestly, I'm kind of a hammerhead,
You are,
unfortunately.
for sure.
I was like,
dude, you
especially
go
when
fast.
we talk about like that zero spin, like you gotta be hammerhead to make it over that. Cause like imagine if I decided to change my mind halfway through or something, like we'd be going to the hospital or something. That's what I mean by like just the blade games got your back when you wanted to. I was like, I did have a reason to land those tricks, but I was like, there's a little bit of luck when it comes to like just going for a trick, and you're just like, I knew I would get it, and it's like that's just like the most badass aspect of it.
Yeah, and it's funny when other people, even when they doubt, they're like, I don't know, try it. I like when people are like, wow, that's crazy, I wouldn't do that. I'm like, oh, I think this is
honestly
possible.
I've been like really getting my mouth shut lately, like, or not even like I'm not like talking ish or like talking smack, but like a lot of my new friends like that are skateboarders, they're like, hey, give me skates, I want to skate. Like, I want to skate. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get you some skates. Get them the skates. We go skate. They're grinding. I was like, okay, so they like actually are interested. They're like, let's go to a street spot. They're like, can I get a clip? I'm like, this is how it starts, honestly. And like, this is literally how it starts. Like, you didn't think you were gonna be a rollerblader, and then you find out like I'm meeting some good friends. I got good company. Oh, we're working on a project now. Like, damn, I just got a company shirt. Like, all right, maybe I might keep skating. God damn it. I'm like, I think I see me being that person in Chicago because like Chicago's got rollerbladers here, but like I'm not focused on them because we're all good. We're all homies, and like we're all gonna be at TNS. And like I want to get the little homies that are on the sideline. Like, where do you get the skates? And I'm like, shit, I got some in my trunk. Let's go like try them out or something. And just like that, like personal experience is pretty dope too. Or just being able to provide that and like having someone even care.
Is there like a city night skate in Chicago? Like not on a
like a weekly distance skate.
Yeah, not like on like a trick tip or anything.
Honestly, I think so. I don't know any details about it though. But I was like, I'm pretty sure there has to be. It's like such a universal idea because I feel like every city has it. I was like,
I just went to Friday night skate last Friday in SF, and I saw like little kids,
really?
and I was like, yo, you guys ever try trick skates? And they were like, yeah, I'm getting the Aeon 80s, and I was like, damn, those are big wheels. He's like, yeah, I like to go fast. I was like, all right, let's go.
These little kids are out skating, like not even like better than us or better than when I was a kid, but like I would say better than when I was a kid. Better than when I was a kid. I was so scared or something. I don't know what it was like, but I just seeing these little kids drop in and go, and like I think maybe there's a difference between learning something as a teenager and then like a little kid. Like you can see that with someone, but yeah, it's just cool to see like little kids, like 5-year-old, like top song 3 out or something. I'm like, all right, or be like back around sass. Okay, little homie, like where you finna go? Couple of years or now, honestly, like shit.
Yeah, it's crazy seeing them. Like that was one thing I always heard when we were like, well, like what you call the dark years, or when like the skateless years. They were like, yeah, no, there's 0 kids now.
That's really what it is. That's really crazy. What it is. Like and especially living in a place like Chicago, like being involved with the music and stuff, like I deal with people of all sorts of backgrounds and arrays. Like it's not just kids. Like I want where the girls at. Like I want everybody, like the whole rainbow. But I realized, especially in the dark years, I was like, I need everybody involved. But I was like, where are the like young kids? I was like, they were like in the making, but I was like, damn, that's like kind of important just for anything. Like you look at like the Godfather or something, or just any lineage, just like how will we continue the sport if like we're not catering to like the future generation?
Passing and just like in a sense.
Yeah, you gotta do something, dude. And, like I feel like literally like anybody will take it too. It's like you don't know how that like will work if you think about it all day. It's just like you gotta kind of just let it happen. I don't know. Yeah. But I feel like when Negretti saw all of us move to LA, he's like, okay. It's like y'all little pipers might be pipping. And I'm like, it's just like, yeah, bro, we kind of were coming here on a mission. And like it was dope too, because like like not saying like he's the reason we were successful or anything, but it's just like shit, he like wanted to come smoke. He was like, hey, like he's like, damn, can I see some clips? Like it's just like that's humbling, bro. I was like, damn, we got like the OG in the house, like, and just like we're skating with the OGs and like we're getting better and like it's just a vibe, truthfully.
And that
and,
cosign of like people that have done it right saying that you're doing it right is definitely helpful at a young age.
It's especially at a young age. I think like especially when we talk about like why Haitian or even Chinatown Hardware like didn't continue, you like it's just like I don't think people understand how much goes into this, like, and like I would say like responsibility, like getting the job done, like output, but also just like caring. Like John Julio, I think about someone like John Julio, I'm like, he cares. There's no other reason why he's still doing this. He must care. And like, look at where it's got him. Like, it's provided a beautiful life. I'm like, and it's provided other people with a great life that can help this man like achieve his goal. And like, I've been fortunate enough to even just like dabble in and out of that. And like, or just like be blessed with him. Like, it was like throw me some skates or something. Like, I'm not even skating, bro. I'm like, dude, thank you. Like, that makes me kind of be like, all right, like, yeah, you can like think about like all the negative things about something, especially when you've been doing something for a long time. Or I'm like, I can take those as like just band-aids, scars. Like, it's just fall skating. Like, dude, let's keep rocking. And like, I'm a peaceful person and like a uniter. So I'm like, I'm just thinking about like all the people I've met through skating. I'm like just talking to them again. I'm like, it's nice to like see you and just like, damn, like skating really brought us together. Like we became crazy ass friends from it and even had a falling out or something. It's just like, that's pretty badass. Like, and to be able to like humbly walk back to each other and like talk about it and like be like, you want to skate? Like, it's just like, it's a beautiful story. And like, even with y'all, like, it's just like, we can like not talk for a whole year. And then you're like, yo, like, we're trying to get you on the podcast. And like, there's a million reasons why I could be like, I can't make it, but I'm like, let me like, let's like chat about it. Like, let's go. And like, great experience. Like I feel like we all need this, truthfully.
You had fun?
Like, oh, absolutely. I was like, I think it's important to, at least with me, like, I need to talk about like what I care about and like what I'm shooting for. And especially like, it's sick to talk to like-minded folks. Like, don't get me wrong, like, there's sick skaters in Chicago, but I'm kind of like just in the middle. Like, I kind of hang out with musicians or by myself, or like I'm busy. And it's just like, it's hard to get with my real skate heads when I need to. And like, to relate with other people on this topic is like important to me, truthfully, just as it is to like go meet up with my music friends and like talk about like the next event or something, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's like putting forth that foot.
This is a fun reason to do stuff like this, like to have like catch up with you and see what's
truthfully
going on.
And just like, and it kind of just like, I know it kind of just ignites something in all of us because we're all in different places, it looks like. And I'm like, dude, I know next time I go skate, I'm like, shit, I might try to call like 2 more people, or like maybe like plan the day a little, like let's hit 2 more spots, or I don't know, like let's soak it up while we can. You never know. I'm like, I think that attitude is just like good to have, no matter like what city you're in too. It's like, I don't really mind who I skate with. Like, I like skating alone too, but you just kind of got to go out on that like tip. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go skate and like have fun and enjoy it, as opposed to making it like a task or something.
Yeah, I think when you're like, at least when I was younger, I like looked at it like, I got to go out and work and skate and like get these.
Honestly, I looked at like at work. Yeah. Especially when like you got a bunch of homies. Like, it is fun. Don't get me wrong, but it is work. It's like, damn, it's my turn to grind the handrail. Like, it's just like, which is straight. Don't get me wrong, I ain't scared. Like, I don't know. It's just like so much that goes into it. And like, at least with me, like I was more of like just like the filmer and like kind of the driver too, and like the chaperone. Like, I realized someone's kind of got to plan the day out and like hold the torch and like Dude, I realized the days I dropped the torch, I was like, damn, everyone else is not having a good session. And I was like, that attitude kind of drifts and lingers. I was like, people can tell you're not having fun. Like, I like 10 will like come out sometimes and just leave halfway. I'm like, why are you leaving halfway? He's like, I'm not having fun. I was like, never understood until recently. I was like, I guess out of respect, he was like, I don't want to like damper the skate attitude. And I was like, that is respectful. Like, because it is like you kind of got to fight for that next spot, especially when you're filming and stuff like that. Like all the late nights can like start to add up, especially if you got like real life stuff going on. I don't know. Like I've fought with my girlfriend plenty of times about skating. I was like, we only get to skate on Saturday. Like,
what
you can come with.
It's Saturday.
That's Saturday.
Like that's not.
Yeah, that's very real.
Let's not do this on Saturday, please. Yeah. But it's all good. It works out.
We just talked to Biz, and we realized this is, you jarred my my memory of this a little while ago when you said the girls roller skating. I was saying to Biz, the next skate event, like if it's a blade event, you got to have like it open to the roller skaters too, because you double your numbers. Boom.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about. The culture is like, I swear to goodness, like especially when we talk about the roller skating chicks, I'm like, why are we beefing, or why is there any sort of collision? I'm like, if it takes the aggressive rollerblader to chill the fuck or chill his like cojones about just jumping off the roof, yeah, take a deep breath, bro, because like she just wants to vibe. Like, and I've never realized like how many people want to actually just come vibe, and like they're like, yo, I won't grind, but I'll like hit a 180 or something. It's like, that's straight, dude. Like there's people that want to do like longboarding or cruising. I'm just like, it's kind of just insane of us to shut out like someone that wants to kind of participate in their own certain funky way.
We're a bunch of adults on wheels, like they're legitimately like kids' toys.
How that's what
problem with the toy that some other adult chooses? Come on.
Honestly, I went to the skate park maybe a week and a half ago or something. Like, and honestly, I usually never really have an issue. Like, I can hold my own, but like, I just see skateboarders like going out of their way to like really like show that they like are enjoying my presence or something. Like me and Matthias are just going and skate and have fun. Like, I'm like, that's dope. Like, I don't get me wrong, like all love, I get it. But I just like kind of see these like two girls roller skating in the parking lot, and I'm just like, I feel like they just will not come in here because they're afraid of like being yelled at or something, or like, or by like tricks or stuff like that. I was like, we should like kind of make it not like that we got to change anything. Like, we don't want to belittle them or anything, but it's just like, we should, hey, you guys want to come in the skate park? Like, this is like 180 or something. Like, I don't know. It's just open up the combo. You never know who like might want to actually get off the four wheels. I honestly can't even skate quad. I was like, it's hard for me. So I'm like,
so fun on transition. I said it in the last episode.
I bet. Oh my
so fun
God.
on transition.
Oh, I actually want to go to Miguel's and skate with him and Jen and hit some quads. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
I guarantee you just hit a nice air in it, and it just feels so different.
The landing is so solid, and then
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
the carves are so beautiful on transition. But point A to point B, I don't fucking get it. Like, it doesn't feel right.
I can't. Like, I really can't. I'm like, and I see like people grinding and doing rails and stuff. I'm like,
yeah, that kid Ragnar with like big rails on those fucking things.
In my personal opinion, I was like, if that's not aggressive rollerblading, I don't know what the hell is. God damn it. Like, I was like, just because we got soul plates, I was like, we're just UFS. We're more locked into the grinding aspect. I was like, they're crazy to even attempt to grind with the quads. I was like, that's dope. That is like really badass to me.
They're busting knees now. They're crossing their legs. They're like, yeah, I got that.
I was gonna say, I was like, dude, Hoax won. I was like, shit, someone had to find out the grinds for us. I was like, it's the same with I guess roller skating. I was like, or what's happening to it, because they just like, they're like, oh, I could solo, I think. Like, I like looked at Estrogen's page the other day, and I swear she ripped a new one. I was like, I've never seen so many combos on quad skates. And like, not that I had anything to say about it, but I was like, well, there you go. You can do tricks in them.
Yeah, and I just seen that girl roller goalie Carly.
She's in Chicago, right?
Yeah, she's out by you, but she just did a porn star in a box, and that was sick.
Oh my god, that's turned too.
Yeah, it looked really cool. Like
too.
that one looked really nice compared to like some of the other ones. Like the sweat doesn't really like do it the right way, but like the porn star looked good. I liked it.
I can see that one working too, especially like just on the floor dancing. It was a good one.
Yeah, to like just let the old Zamboni.
Yeah, exactly. And like maybe I don't know. I guess this summer we'll see how everyone wants to express themselves in their new skates. Like worldwide. I'm excited though.
It's it'd be so funny to grab us when we were like staying in KC and like in that time period and be like, hey, like 7 years from now, you guys are gonna be talking about all the roller skaters and that are gonna pop off in 7 years from now, though. You're like, what? How does that matter?
Honestly, especially that timing too, because like 7 years is a long time. So you're like, not that long. Like, what the fuck? Like, and that just goes to show, like, it's like actually something to gather and talk about again. Because it's like, I feel like so many people too are just wondering, like, oh, like, how was it like at the beginning of Haitian or something? It's like, none of us in that crew like will speak. We're just like some silent ninjas. But I think it's just, for one, you just need time to like get to a point where people are like, oh, I want to talk about that. It seems like it's over. And like, it's just like, it could be something that's like chatted about. And like, honestly, I could reflect on something like, oh, I was a little kid back then. Like, that was crazy. Like, just to see the skating that happened too on top of it. I was like, there were some insane tricks. Like, I mean, you don't, honestly, when we talk about like doing Super Saiyan stuff, you're just seeing like magical aspects of something. I was like, when I seen Billy O'Neill jump over that rail at Staples Center and do the soul, I remember that whole trip and just like the whole vibe of it. Like Billy O'Neill was in his two-step. Like you gotta honestly be on one to do that. Like he was just like all week we were just having a great week.
I just worked at the convention center. Like
I bet you were tripped out then.
Well, yeah, I've been up to it a couple of times, but it was really weird to like be working at the place and be like,
that's what I'm gonna, yeah, because I've worked there.
Like too. That happened, and I know that dude. Like fucking crazy.
It's just crazy, and especially seeing like what goes into that. It's just like you just need good homies and good vibes. Like, not that like Billy couldn't have done it himself, but I'm like, dude, a solid week of like good skating. You're getting good clips and like your parts coming out right, like that would make me be like, I'm gonna try it crazy. And like he landed it because he is so badass. And that's just like, that's what I mean by like everyone gathering and doing what they do best. Like I wasn't there that day even, but like I was there in spirit. I was like, hey boys, like come back with it. Like come back. I'm waiting. Like I think I had to work or something, or like
I was gonna say, like, were you there? Like, how did you like? It's funny, he did that trick, and you're hyped, like, not even there. You're like, I just can't wait.
It was just chatted about all week.
Oh, cool. We were getting one of those ones.
Yeah, we were getting clips like of that caliber all week, and I was like, well, I can't make it, but I know you guys got it. And like, it's just like you're sitting in LA with nothing to do besides do that trick. I was like, it doesn't matter if your homie's at work. It might be time to go do it. And it was just like, that's also what I'm getting at by like, just like the independence aspect of it. Like, especially coming from like an organized sport like track, I was like, damn, like they don't even need me to do this. And like, I like helped start this. And like, not even saying that in like a spiteful way. It's like, they got the job done. That's like awesome. Like, and that like helps me rest at night. Like, I'm sure like people running brands now or something like Julio just like sees like the edit actually come in on time or something. He's like, thank you guys. Like, I'm glad I didn't have to worry about making a video or something. And it's just like, that's just like that teamwork actually means a lot too. Yeah. Especially to like someone trying to hold the morale up for everybody is like, yeah, that little thought counts.
It's even for myself. Like I was away like a week or two ago, like I missed a weekend. I was visiting a friend and I just had no problem giving Jeremy my camera. Like I knew that.
That's what I mean. Yeah. That's like you're like
Drew was gonna hold it down regardless,
and
that made me feel good. And I'm calling, checking in, yeah.
Because honestly, like, the camera is expensive, but that's what I mean. Like the vibe, like overpowers like any material aspect of it. You're like, you need this to carry the vibe on. They're like, I don't want to see y'all not filming. Like that's gonna hurt me even harder. Truthfully, like
that's worse.
Especially like
FOMO over you guys not skating.
Yeah, honestly, and I'll say it like first and foremost, I've sold so many dang cameras, and like in hindsight, I really wish I'd never sold them because you really never get your money back, to be honest. So like the best is hold on to them as memories. But I was like,
dude, I saw your post the other day. You're looking for.
Dude,
I thought about selling mine to you because I was like, I could give him my old VXs, and I was like, but I don't want to let go of the old VXs.
Thank you. I was like, I honestly, anyone that was going to reach out to me, I was like, double confirm you want to do that because it's just like such an emotional thing. Like every camera I've sold, I was like, oh, I need money for like the next endeavor, which is straight. But I was like, it's hard to find that VX 1000 again, bro. Like you might want to actually keep it. Like, and I think people are starting to realize that, like when they're like, or at least I know I am. I was like, oh, like damn, getting a skate camera is not that it's hard, but I was like, it's a very personal process, and like you just like want the right one. Hopefully,
takes like a.
Were you still filming on the GL2?
No, that was Spencer's. I just kind of flexed my iPhone now, and just like got a little fisheye. But I was like, honestly, I just trying to get on some vlogger. I was like, I'll just go lifestyle about it for a little bit until I get the skate camera. Then you already know.
Do you have any intentions of a new camera?
Yeah, honestly, it's just finances is like trying to work hard. I was like, hopefully I can sell some of these shirts I'm about to make. And like, I'm sure everything will work out fine, but I was like, I gotta start gearing up towards like investing in a camera. Cause I know like how I capture skating. And I was like, I need like a skate camera to do that. It's hard on an iPhone, truthfully.
I personally, I like that you want the VXs, but also like, that's a lot of them tapes, dog.
I was gonna say, I was like, don't get me wrong, the VX is like, it can be easier because it's just like, oh, like it's just like SD, but I'm like, the practicality of an HPX or VX is way sicker. I was like, bro, it's not like that Firewire USB connection. And like Andrew came to town and we shot a new Beavos video, and he's got this 4K camera, like the one Danny Beer just put out in Editor and Stewart. And like, talk about being passionate about skating again. I like, cause I was like, he was like, hey, I want to come to town and skate. I was like, all right, sure. Like he came and I was just like, shit, I guess I gotta skate now. And I was like heavy partying and like raving. I was like, let me put that shit down for a second. Like we skating. And I just started getting clips, bro. And like, we are watching back 4K, and I was like, damn, I might need to start skating about it. I was like, for one, I'm like good at skating, and I was like, I felt like he was just as hyped because, like, you know how it is, you get a new camera, you're like, I want somebody to skate hard, please.
You know what he's got? What's he got? What's he rocking?
Dude, I forgot the model. I have to hit him up, but I think it's Panasonic.
Is it okay? Is it the
DVX? Sony? It's a
Sony.
It's a Sony or Panasonic, but it's cool. Like one of the smaller ones.
This is exciting. You're skating with Nemo for the new Beavis video. That sounds sick.
It was fire, bro. I've never been so much more hyped on some skate footage, and like
that's awesome.
Loki, I think he needed it also, just because like we're old time friends, so I was like, all right, we're linking up on that too. But then like the clips, like it's exactly like when we got together with Haitian or Chinatown. I was like, dude, all we got to do is link up and skate. Like the clips start to get like really out of hand, honestly. Like we would show
duo. You and Nemo working together. It's like you just told me Billy Lace the Staples Center. I'm hyped. I'm excited.
Honestly, it feels like I can like be myself if Andrew's like handling all the like. It felt like when I like worked with Dylan, it's like, oh, I'm trying to trick. Don't even worry about someone filming. And I was like, try your trick. Actually, I was like, you're gonna be captured beautifully. And like I think that's all also helped me back. just like, especially with like Chinatown, like being the only filmer involved, I was like actual person that was like, I'm a skate videographer, is like, I'm used to kind of tag teaming with someone, and like that really does help out because it gives you time to skate, and then like gives them time to skate, and it's just like a little bit easier as opposed to.
There's sometimes where you're just not filming it right, and then you hand
that's kind of,
the
yeah,
person next
exactly.
to you, and they fucking rinse it, or vice versa, you know? Like
exactly, yeah. I was
like having more than one person doing that and like as a team is really helpful.
That's really what I'm getting at, is like that fluctuation. It was like, because I saw like when I kind of like lived in LA, I haven't even thought of source code yet, but I was like about to move to Chicago and we were skating and filming. It's like, well, I know I'm gonna make a video at some point. And then I was like, shit, I want to get a trick too, goddamn it. Like, so I was like, Darce, film me. And then like honestly, I salute Darce because I just yelled at him.
Hey, he's not even gonna yell back at you either. Like
Darce was like, I honestly, dude, Darce can do any skate trick, but I was like, hey, you didn't film this right. And he was like, shit. Like I saw it like stress him out. Like I was like, dude, my bad. And like he really got good quickly. Same with like Decker. I was like, cause like I'm realizing now, I was like,
MD.
Like, yeah, MD. I was like, I can honestly be chill about it because I'm like, all right, you don't need to be so upset. But I was like, I'm super like, I guess it's old school. I was like, yo, film my trick right. Like, yo, money, like, because I've been yelled at on the other end. Like, they're like, oh. Like, I remember one time I missed a Broscow trick when we were filming Honey Baked in Kansas City and we were stopping through. He roasted my ass. He was like, what are you doing, bro? And what did you come here to do? Like, are you filming the goat or where is your head at? And I was like, I've never felt so embarrassed. I was like, and he said it really nicely, but I was like, yo, come on, let's
get That's what you heard?
Yeah, that's what I heard for sure. He was like, for one, you can film that better, and two, like, you're just being a little kid right now. And I was like, what, LeBar, Davis, we were like, let's smoke. And it was like, the road trip's taking over, like, getting content easily. You know how that works. Like, just eating the 5th slice of pizza and wilding up.
Fucking 30th biff of the morning, like.
Dude, I was like, I swear, I used to be like just a very like calm, chill, like I said, introverted kid. I was like, boy, I met my rollerblading friends. I am a partier. And just like what was that term your mom called you earlier?
Hammerheads.
Dude, hammerhead, bro. Like, there's B-roll of us bright ideas just banging our head in the table, just like as a dare. But I was just like, dude, we like want to this rally and like party. Not saying that behavior is like that's positive, that's good, but it's just funny. I'm like, I can see why we like want to grind handrails and like,
like where your mindset was at that point.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, especially looking back on skating and like seeing there's like the industry being on its last wits and like honestly just hanging in there. I was like, dude, I feel like rollerblading went through its own pandemic, truthfully. Like when we talk about the dark times, I'm like, really, like I remember all like my like art friends before I started making music or something, they always be like, oh, like skating is really cool and stuff. Like, I'm like, people have always enjoyed the activity, but like, I guess now that everyone has time to really like think about just life and just various things that they like to do, they're like, I think I could roll around too. Like, it doesn't seem that hard. And like, sure enough, it's just like sparking a new interest. And even probably with like skateboarding, I'm sure people are starting to skateboard now. I'm like, just there's time to be outside on some 90s.
Yeah, for just as many of the roller skate chicks too. I've seen like just that same kind of thing where there are other girls that are not doing the roller skate thing. They're like, oh, but there's blading too. I'm gonna do that instead.
Honestly,
like,
I see it. Both. I see the fractions because like perfect example. Like I got a couple of good girlfriends that are skateboarders, and like I'm like, shit, y'all can skate. Let's go. I was like, whatever.
You skate.
Yeah, I was like, pull up to the spot. Let's go. Like we're flipping. And then like I see the like quad girls come in, then we got a couple of girls, like you always got your like awesome aggro rollerblading chick that just got the skates. Like, I'm like, hell yeah, bro. Like, fuck yeah. And then like I have other friends that are just like really sweet, like girls, or just like there's more like feminine type of humans, and like they're like, I want to just get skates and like dance. And I'm like look at Robbie. And like, but Robbie is still an aggressive rollerblader. Like he will grind a rail for you. But like
he has
I see like
real trick.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Robbie is like not even on that category, but he's like I think like the friends that I'm relating to that are getting interested, that like want to be like Michelle Kwan about it, like get the fitness skates, but like just dance and like not hit a handrail, but still come to the session, is like they'll see Robbie and be like just motivated to still do their thing and like not be embarrassed either. Because really we're stronger in numbers. So I'm like, it doesn't matter that I'm grinding the rail and you're like swiveling over there, like keep doing that. I was like, I don't want to have anyone grinding this rail that doesn't need to be.
Yeah, if you don't want to do that, please don't feel obligated to go down a stair set. Like that is my, like, I've decided this is a good idea.
Yeah, because truthfully, I'm like, I don't even think that's like what the fun aspect of it is. Like, of course that's fun to us because we're just like, yeah, dude. But I was like, when I think about like my like sweet girlfriend or something, like just like a sweet little girl, I'm like, shit, she trying to keep it a little bit less full rip. So like, not that I even have to do much, but I just kind of just like cater to her, just like, yeah, like you could still like be fly and like have a good time. And like, I don't know. Like there are tricks you could do also in that like category. It's like try to learn how to balance on one toe or something. Like
you said it yourself, and I think I am too. I like the party part. Like if we can all get together and then have a party together, that's more what I'm looking for than just like
that makes me skate
crazy trick
way better, truthfully. And when I think about the crazy tricks, like when I talk about Billy O'Neill, like we were partying that week. Like that's why he got up that day and was like, shit, lit the biff, and he was like, guess I'll go do it. we're partying. And I was like, yeah. Like,
well, yeah, it's like that is part of the party. Even if you're not like
the party
actively partying at that point, like the whole thing is the party. That's what's so beautiful about skating. Like to keep that stoke from the night before and to like run through the next day.
Honestly,
fucking and then, awesome.
Oh, sorry. And then honestly, to be able to look back at it 7 years later and just laugh, you're like, dude, I really encourage anybody to try to do what they were interested in doing, whether like whatever it is, like, because I've met so many other people than skating since I've just branched into other things. Where I was just like, the mentality is the same. Like, you just get interested in something, then you're just on it. You're just like on its bumper for a while. I'm like, I think that kind of discipline will get you somewhere. It'll get anybody somewhere.
Yeah, I guess just as like a community too, we have this, it's like a bigger history now. It's a lot of the things honestly, that they said that we didn't have the whole time. It's like, no, we definitely got it now.
And that's what I mean too about like just discipline and like responsibility. It's like, well, now that people are getting enticed, like shit, like I said, I was like, I can't sit in the sidelines in this rave. I was like, hey, I know how to top toe. Like, or like I was actually low key, like when I say I'm just thankful, I'm like, dude, I like obviously always have wanted to skate. There's like, it goes deeper than what I could even explain. But I was just like, the way I got pulled back into skating as of lately, I was like, it's just humbling. I'm like, the people that get like hyped on my skating are people that are not skaters, just like random personalities. And I'm like, I'm hyped that you could even like relate to that activity. And like, especially when I'm not even like in like that involved with that activity currently. So I was just like, damn, let me like give it another go. Cool. Ooh, I wouldn't lie, boys. I'm running on 10% though.
Hey, well, that was honestly, we've been at this for almost 2 hours.
2.5 hours, right?
2.5 hours.
Okay.
So no, this has been great. That was a good place. Anything else you'd like to say? Hey, it's been great catching up.
Yeah, I'd say that's a great place to like wrap up. But yeah. Anything to shout out? Anything to people? Anything?
Honestly, just everyone keep your eyes out for Source Code 2020 coming hard. 2021. Obviously, pandemic will halt things for a little bit for all of us, but everyone just keep your head up and honestly, let's get grinding again. No matter who you are, let's get going. And like, let's keep the convo open and just wish the best to everybody.
Well, we heard it from the best. Malcolm Hurd, y'all. Piece of hit.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was great chatting with you. Let's stay in touch too.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need y'all to come to Chicago when things get going.
Let's go.
I'll hit you with the nice plans. Good hosting.
Sure.
Awesome. Thanks again, Malcolm. Peace.
Much love, y'all. Bye.